Are you brave enough to come face to face with some of the most disturbing creatures ever captured on trial cam? These terrifying beings lurk in the shadows, waiting to be discovered by unsuspecting hikers and wildlife enthusiasts. From grotesque monsters to chilling apparitions, these creatures will make you question what really goes bump in the night. If you think you can handle it, prepare to witness the most spine-chilling and unsettling trail cam footage you've ever seen. No one would believe it. Most disturbing creatures ever caught on trial cam. Really, you see unbelievable things happening in this video. Quickly give this video a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all our gripping stories. Now, let's begin. Jungle highway crawler. Choosing a highway to crawler in the middle of a forest is probably the worst place to be around for creeping onto someone. Only a few days ago, a transport driver while passing through the dense 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗵 in temperate rainforest road came across a naked-looking crawler in the middle of the road. It looked to be quite skinny as a frame of moving skeleton with a very bleak face and hair, although it remained mostly stationary. But according to the driver, it was too eager to get closer. The driver, who turned around for alternate route out of fear of his safety, was criticized by many for not helping a possible man in distress. Alien Scout. The appearance of UFO and alien sightings such as these are surely not a mere coincidence. A couple, along with their neighbors, were camping nearby the Big Bear Lake in California, when a tiny possum-like being made a sudden appearance, catching them all by surprise. According to the witnesses, it had a physical appearance like that of a fictional character Dobby from the Harry Potter movies, but was a bit too green, as the wildlife experts are trying to make sense of the incident. Many debated that this could be an alien scout, especially due to a UFO sighting the previous day. The Gates of Hell, filmed on June 28, 2000, this trail cam footage is both fascinating and terrifying. Even though it was filmed in 2000, not many people have seen this club. A high-intensity fire rolls through this trail, and the camera records the scene and the temperature as it unfolds in real time. As the massive and deadly forest fire sweeps through Northwest Territory woods, it's not often it's captured on trial cam footage. Spikes in temperature are easily visible as the camera records them. As the trail cam is first engulfed in flames, the speed and intensity of the fire's growth is truly terrifying. It looks like something from the Gates of Hell. Humphy Ghost. It's probably the hump that may have gotten it. Not so mobile. A group of friends who were lighting up firecrackers to celebrate the 4th of July when they were interrupted by a high-pitched guttural cry, curious for answers. They decided to investigate the noise while passing through the trees. They were abruptly stopped after spotting what looks to be a weird humpy entity in the dark, since the idea of getting closer for identification wasn't an option. They decided to lobby a flying firecracker in its direction before running away. Many take it to be a case of a drugged-up human, but whatever it was, surely is a terrifying sight to behold. Glowing-eyed mummy chase. Just by looking at the glowing eyes, you can know this certainly is no hoax. In September 2019, two colleagues were returning from work in their car when a manly figure in the dark started sprinting parallel to them. Seconds later, the ghostly figure closed in towards the light, revealing its final form. It seemed to look like a mummy with glowing eyes and an incredible speed. First, it got closer to them and then attempted to jump into the vehicle when the driver was able to speed away. This certainly could not be a human, but a mummy that may have gotten possessed by a supernatural entity. Dark furry monster. This dark furry monster may initially seem like a man wearing a Halloween costume until you look closely at its eyes. Two explorers, while passing through the forest of northern Iran, spotted an eerie hiding behind the bushes due to the pitch darkness of the night. They were forced to get closer to it to investigate. While preaching religious chants, they were to get close but still could barely see it. It had a 𝗪𝘂𝗋 coat with incredibly wide eyes that were visible due to lack of light and fear of the unknown. They couldn't get a good look at it despite being spitting distance away from it. Ghost attempts to hide. Either this ghost dozed off into the water or it was attempting to hide itself. A trail camera planted on a bridge next to a haunted house captured footage of a ghost that tripped into a small stream. The camera was placed in the area to investigate the cause of disturbance in the area in the dead of night. After reviewing the footage, many believe that this would rather be a cause of a young woman being possessed by a ghost. Catching birds for dinner. A simple fact that gorillas are not known to hunt birds is enough to say that this isn't something normal. A video recorded in March 2016 by a fisherman who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry animal was attempting to catch seagulls flying. They had a group of friends when exploring in the woods late one night. They brought a camera with them to take some pictures, and as they continued their journey and snapping photos, they captured this one image that none of them could explain. They didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until they examined the photos more closely. One of their photos showed a pale hand wrapped around a tree, as if something was grabbing it. Now, it's frightening enough to be out in the woods in the middle of the night, but capturing a random hand you didn't know was there is terrifying. If you turned up the brightness and zoomed in on where the hand was, it revealed something far more terrifying. As we look closely, you can see a pale and horrifying face peering around the tree, staring right back at the hikers. They were being stalked by some strange creature. And as you can see in some of the other photos, people that have seen the pictures and the kids that took the photographs are perplexed. What could this strange creature be? Perhaps we'll never know. The Night Eyes, our next trail camera clip, is unexplainable, uploaded as a 42-minute long video of a compilation of all the wildlife that the owner was catching. This video was not intended to be scary, and the user had no idea that he had caught anything as scary on his camera until he began reading the comments on his video. At approximately 16 minutes and 30 seconds, it shows the clip of a lone coyote roving through the night. Coyotes are typical in this spot, and everything seems normal until a gigantic pair of glowing eyes appear in the background. The only thing you can see is the reflection of the eyes. We're unable to make out what they're attached to. No outline of a body. What grabs my attention is that the coyote notices there's something there. 2. You can see him looking in its direction soon after the eyes appear. I think we can assume it's a creature. He's massive, so let me know what you guys think. We have a strange creature lurking in the woods. Jefe. For those that don't know, let me introduce you to Jefe. This is America's only known wild jaguar. He lives in the remote Santa Rita Mountains of Arizona. He is a magnificent creature who, again, holds the distinction of being the only wild jaguar in the United States. Of course, there are a great number of jaguars living in comfort of zoos across the country, but only Jefe has the freedom to roam and hunt as he pleases. Authorities have considered trying to capture Jefe in the past, but they ultimately determined that it is more beneficial for him to continue his life in the mountains. Besides, it provides insight into how an animal can survive in an environment that he's not built for. Not only is Jefe surviving, but he's also thriving in his new environment. Researchers were able to positively identify the animal as an adult male in the prime of his life who suffers from no serious health conditions, all thanks to the trail cam footage. Jefe looks like he's living his best life. And I'm sure you'll agree that it's best that we leave Jefe where he is and continue to admire him from afar. Through the magic of trail cams. Hide and Seek, posted in 2020 from New Mexico's Rio Morin National Wildlife Refuge. A motion trail cam has taken a picture of the back portion of a juvenile Rocky Mountain elk. At first glance, there's nothing spectacular about the photo, but if you look closely, very closely, you can see a mountain lion crouched in the grass. This finded photo had social media buzz, with people claiming that there was nothing in the photo. Can you see the lion? Here, let me help you out. He's almost invisible, and honestly, it took me longer to find it than I would like to admit. Nevertheless, very cool comment, and let me know if you could see the lion without the help. Death March. In an eerie video coming out of a suburban neighborhood in Randolph, Massachusetts, a flock of turkeys are shown circling a dead cat for hours. More and more turkeys began to emerge from the nearby woods and join in on the infinite loop. Very creepy for sure. If anyone has any insight on this event, I'd love to know more. In my last video, I mentioned to someone in the comments that creepy kids scare me as much as anything caught on camera. And this girl right here scares the bejesus out of me. So needless to say, our next trail cam capture made my heart drop, taken at 2:45 a.m. on October 15 of 2015. Creepy cryptid encounter. Is this a bird of some kind or just a horribly looking rodent? While out for an adventure, a tourist encountered a creepy looking animal that was hiding behind a dried up tree trunk in the Appalachian Mountains of North America. Its face looked as if it were deformed with something like a beak on the face. The intentions of this animal were unclear, as it never moved much besides keeping the eyes locked onto the recorder with the behavior as such. The tourist described it to be an unrecognizable animal that was later pronounced to be encrypted. Slender Man. In 2018, two friends and a little girl were traveling across states when they bumped into an abnormality, tall and suspicious-looking man, referred to as the Slender Man. The Slender Man appeared in the middle of them, making the driver turn off-road and into the grass before stopping. Seconds later, the camera blacked out and started recording once again, showing the Slender Man walking in the woods with the little girl. One of the two friends went missing while the other was able to find the little girl with a note left behind, probably by the Slender Man. To date, authorities haven't been able to figure out who or where this tall being came from. Crooked-faced walker. This is one of those times when something fictional becomes a reality. Residents from a small town in Wisconsin reported numerous appearances of this crooked-faced walker, which has a resemblance to a mythical character called the Spirit Walker. Locals would often wear costumes depicting the walker until it started appearing after dark at festivals and community events, so much so that it was locally known as the Spirit of Bizarre. It has a body structure like that of a man with extremely long bony arms, all covered in a suit and a mask. The footage was taken by one of the cameras that was placed to get a closer view at its shady beast with little to no trees around. The chances of it being a monkey is next to impossible. A footage captured in a woodland area in Nebraska shows a troubled-looking individual that was spotted by passerby as it appeared out from behind the grass. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking and subscribing for more crazy clips. Want to see more exciting trail cam footage? Then click on one of the following videos.